Why is all of a sudden that you remembered things about it yesterday? Were you informed or were you told more about the case yesterday?
No, I just started to remember more. Remember, in 12 years, a lot of stuff can go through your head. This wasn't exactly something that I had top of mind where I was trying to recall every little detail that went on 12 years ago.
The story where this all started was from Politico, and it had mentioned that there were two accusations of sexual harassment. Do you remember anything now about the other case?
Absolutely not. I wasn't even aware of the second case until we saw the Politico article. The first one I was aware of, but the second one I have, and I still haven't recalled. I didn't even know the second one existed, if it exists. Because remember, the article said, 2 anonymous sources.
Did it come out of nowhere for you after the Politico, though, said that your campaign had it for 10 days?
We had it for 10 days, Robin. We made a conscious decision with my sign-off. I'm not going to go out and start chasing 2 anonymous accusations. So that was a conscious decision.
Are there other accusations against you that you wouldn't know what 2 accusations he was talking about when he said sexual harassment?
All we know is that they contacted my office and said that they had 2 anonymous sources accusing me of sexual harassment. And we said, well, what details can you give us? They couldn't give us any other than it occurred when I was at the National Restaurant Association. I immediately recalled one, and that was the one we talked about earlier. I couldn't recall the other one. And the reason that I wasn't going to answer his question standing on the street after I had done another interview, that could have been taken totally out of context. I wanted to be able to put it into context like I'm doing now to explain what I knew and what I didn't know, what I can now remember and what I couldn't remember at the beginning of yesterday.
Why did you never go back to HR to find out what their review had found?
Because it started out where she was making some huge claims about sexual harassment. I do recall that she was asking for a large sum of money. I don't remember what that sum of money was, but as the review of this moved forward, that sum of money, my attorney negotiating with her attorney, got less and less and less because her attorney started to figure out she didn't have a valid claim. I absolutely believe that this is an intended smear campaign using these 2 cases. Like I said, I'm not even aware of the second one. It is a smear campaign. When they cannot.
By whom? Do you know by whom?
We don't know. We have no idea. When they cannot kill my ideals, like 999, they come after me personally. When this happened years ago, I told my wife about it because it was found to be baseless. And the hardest part of my wife, quite frankly, is all of the innuendos from all of the news reports that haven't been presenting the facts. You know, the fact that, yes, the word settlement, I said I don't recall a settlement earlier in the day, that's because I considered what happened an agreement. But because of, like I said, the detail at which every word is scrutinized, it was an agreement. And so it looked like I changed my story. I didn't change my story. If I could do it over, Robin, I would start with the last interview I did last night and make that the first interview of the day. Because after 12 hours during the day, many events, many interviews, I was able to gradually recall more and more details about what happened 12 years ago. So that's what I would do differently. But, you know, I wasn't given the opportunity to think about it for a day before I had to start answering questions.